Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And I want to dive into the idea that, hey, listen, the FedNow service is already announced, so why isn't XRP skyrocketing? Well, because this was never supposed to be a price driver event. Like I said, Ripple is not going to be the only blockchain technology tied to FedNow. I even said it in yesterday's video that this is the door of opportunity that opens for these types of technologies and also even solutions to be utilized. But it's definitely exciting. Listen, this is the start of something much larger. And we do see Federal Reserve announces that its new system for instant payments, the FedNow service, is now live. The Federal Reserve on Thursday announced that its new system for instant payments, the FedNow service, is now live. Banks and credit unions of all sizes can sign up and use this tool to instantly transfer money for the customers any time of the day on any day of the year. And what's great about this is it also does really help Ripple's goal, right? Which is to level the playing field. All banks, all credit unions, no matter the size of them, can sign up and utilize this tool and really kind of tap into third-party solutions and private, technology. So this is great to see. And like I said, this is the start of a much more significant move towards upgrading our, infrastructure. So awesome to see it. In terms of the price action of XRP from the news, so this was announced at 10 a.m. If we go all the way back to today at about roughly 10 a.m., it pumped all the way up until the announcement, and then from the announcement it kind of dropped down a little bit, back down to about like 77, almost 78 cents. I would be looking short term for anybody that wants to buy lower XRP. Watch for a loss of the 77-cent region. Remember, we could still see the 56 to 52 cents, honestly. Like the 52 to 56 cent zone is something that I've been watching for a little bit of time, ever since this big move, to see if we do get a retest of it. But with that in mind, something very interesting on why most of the market kind of sold off a little bit today is because of what happened from the announcement of the FedNow service, which is the US dollar gaining some momentum. On the 12-hour span here, this thing was up today a full move of about roughly 1.38%. Now, to some people that might not seem like a lot, but this is a global reserve currency, so this is pretty significant. Now, one thing that I will watch for on the US dollar on some of these lower time frames, like for example the 12-hour, is a flip of the 101 region. So if we do flip this region, I will definitely be looking forward to seeing if it does continue to gain momentum or get shot down at local resistance to make a lower low. And if that is the case, then this market is going to erupt into even higher price action. The problem is that we don't want to see the dollar do something where it flips this region and continues to move and retest it as support. If we do build it into support, this thing could go as high as roughly 106, 107. But within that, as I do look at the dollar today, I really kind of look at the macro on it a little bit more. So I go to like the 3-day span and kind of look at where we are at today. I mean, this is such a small move. So we really need to see a lot more in the dollar for this to flip bullish yet again. I'm still pretty bearish on the US dollar in the 3-day span because it is below all EMAs. Until we kind of flip a few of those, there's nothing to really be concerned about in terms of the dollar's momentum or strength. But I did think it was very interesting to see how the market did react to this. Nothing too crazy, but the dollar did gain a little bit of momentum off of the announcement of it. Now, I do want to talk to you guys about a few things around this case still, because I know that's been a little bit of time. It's almost, 1 week now since the full-on announcement. There's been quite a bit of momentum around regulations now. So as we look at this announcement from Brad Garlinghouse, or I should say this tweet from him, he's quoting the announcement from Ripple. And what do you see? After nearly 3 years, the court's July 13th decision delivered a landmark win for Ripple and the entire US crypto industry. XRP is not a security. And this is from the 19th. And we do see from Brad Garlinghouse himself, it's been less than a week since the decision dropped, and I'm still overwhelmed with gratitude for and hugely proud of this team. An unequivocal win for Ripple and for crypto in the US. That's the bottom line. And if you guys did miss it, definitely go check it out on Ripple's website. It's a banner, actually, but it takes you guys to this page, which is XRP is not a security, Ripple's landmark victory in SEC lawsuits. And in this, it does break everything down if you've had any questions around if XRP is a security or not. For example, here we have Ripple's XRP sales on exchanges, not securities. XRP sales by Ripple executives, not securities. Ripple's XRP distributions to developers, to charities, and to employees, not securities. So listen, as we really kind of look at the business model here, there's nothing stopping Ripple and also XRP. It's definitely something to note because I know that there's so much misconception out there around this decision, and it's crazy. But you know where it's all coming from? The Bitcoin maxis, which is it really surprising to anyone? To me, it's not. But also, I did say we have seen nothing but huge announcements regarding crypto regulation since the Ripple case decision. In my opinion, this decision is a major accelerant for regulatory clarity for digital assets. We are also now 48 hours away from FedNow launching. Very interesting week already. And yes, it has been a very, very exciting week. Even this week alone, if you will. But everything that has been happening is kind of centered out on the overall goal here. Even if you look at the FedNow launch, it is all building up to the big boom around utility and crypto finally being, I would say, I don't want to say inject it into the system, but implement it within our financial system globally, because it's already kind of starting to happen slowly but surely. But you know, we're possibly months or possibly even years away from the big go live with some of these assets moving, you know, upwards of trillions of dollars per day. But I do think that's definitely exciting to watch for the announcements around regulations, because this is also a major obstacle around this entire space. But as we do look at XRP, you know, XRP is already cleared. The regulations and a lot of these bills that are happening now to kind of get these people out of office, like for example, Gary Gensler and, you know, the SEC to not have any jurisdiction over crypto. I think that's definitely great. Also, like the other bills that are getting implemented, which we will go over in this video as well, it's all helping to, you know, build up momentum for a global regulatory framework, which will most likely happen, which I did outline on a few videos before and even on Twitter as well. But from Richie Torres, we do see, needless to say, regulating digital assets through enforcement only had a dreadful day in court last week. In the wake of the resounding decision out of the SDNY Ripple case, SEC Gov must reassess its continued assault on the crypto industry. My letter to Chair Gensler. And ultimately what it is just kind of, you know, talking about how he dropped the ball and how the SEC as a whole has kind of failed in its overall mission to protect investors. I mean, listen, that's been a big problem since day one around the SEC anyways. They're only protecting the big bankers and those that, you know, are trying to protect every ounce of greed they have, because guess what? As this technology does get adopted, it really does level the playing field. And what that really means is the big bankers that are running this monopoly system, they no longer are in charge. And also, Congressman John Rose, we do see, I'm proud to introduce HR 4657, which will get the unelected bureaucrats at the SEC, especially SEC Gov Chair Gary Gensler, out of the business of legislating moral and social policy. Again, I love to see this. I would love to see something happen with these bills, though. You know, usually what we see is a lot of noise around them, but there's really not a lot of action. Personally speaking, I don't think that the SEC should have any overreach in this market. Listen, this is a huge win for Ripple and XRP, but I do get concerned about other tokens and what the SEC is going to do next around the space, because they could still wreak havoc on the space and also innovation within the US, which again, you know, yes, it's a celebration around Ripple and XRP, and I'm not taking that away from it at all, but I do think that we need to protect innovation. I think that this space does need to be protected as well from these players like Gary Gensler and, of course, the mob, if you will. I call the SEC the mob for the bankers. They're basically the soldiers out there protecting the bankers. But it definitely is something interesting to look at. I think that these bills are great. Also, We did see a few of the Wall Street herd turning on Gary Gensler. Shout out to Tony Edward, Thinking Crypto 1 over on Twitter and also even on YouTube. The Wall Street herd is turning on Gary Gensler. The walls are collapsing around him. When Novogratz is saying positive things about Ripple and XRP, you know Gary is in a bad place. Notice how top CNBC contributor Jay Clayton has not made an appearance yet on the show to talk the Ripple XRP victory. Confirmation: Jay is a coward. He filed the lawsuit and ran out the SEC door the next day. Now, after Ripple wins, he goes into hiding. And we do see it was a big day win, or sorry, it was a big win for Ripple and a big win for the crypto community, says Novogratz after a judge ruled XRP is not a security. Let's not let Gary Gensler put lipstick on a pig. They lost and they know it. And listen closely to this.
Hey, Michael, I'm sure since so many folks in crypto land were following this decision related to Ripple, I wanted to get your thoughts and comments on it and whether you think it has any demonstrable impact in terms of what's, how the SEC and how Congress and how others think about these things.
It has to force the Democrats, the White House and Gensler to the table to start negotiating fair rules. Like it was just. But
was this a win? I mean, maybe we should explain for the audience, and maybe Michael, you'd probably do a better job than I can, what the decision was, because some people looked at that decision as a win for Ripple, and others said actually maybe it wasn't.
No, it was a big win for Ripple, and it was a big win for the crypto community. Like, let's not let Gary Gensler put lipstick on a pig. They lost, and they know it. And at best, the judge said, okay, now you're going to, if the SEC wants to litigate, you're going to have to litigate every token separately and every use of that token separately. And so the current status quo isn't going to work for the SEC. Listen, they could appeal. Appeals take a long time. We can stay in court for years. But I think the message that I want to give that is really clear was what Gary has been saying, that the rules are clear, just isn't true. It's not true at all. And that judge said that exactly, right? This is really complicated. We need regulation that makes things clear. And it's not that complicated.
And this is definitely interesting coming from an individual like Mike Novogratz. For those that don't know, there's a lot of history with him, with Ethereum, and it's complicated, right? But if you've been around for a while around the space, then you know of Mike Novogratz, and you know that he is a big supporter of Wall Street. He's within Wall Street. He's been in Wall Street for a while, and it seems as though everyone is turning on Gary Gensler now. The heat is definitely getting turned up. I wonder if Gary is sweating, but nonetheless, as we do look at the recent announcement as well, we've seen the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act was introduced today by Congressman GT, French Hill, and Dusty Johnson. The bill establishes a regulatory framework for digital assets. Here is the full text. It's quite a bit of a breakdown in terms of the PDF file. If you guys do want to go check it out, then go check out Eleanor Tourette over on Twitter. And a lot of people were saying why is it made by the people from the agriculture? It's because they do oversee the CFTC, just like Eleanor Tourette is saying. And also, I do agree with XRP Crypto Wolf down here, which he says XRP already has regulatory clarity, but this crypto bill helps out even more. And yeah, it really does, right? As we look at what's happening, we know that the regulators are in the same position as they were with the internet. Okay, we have this massive technology boom happening yet again, but this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, because what this technology really is it's a fundamental shift in the next generation of financial and payment technology. And if this technology does thrive the way it's meant to thrive, then it could seep into every single aspect of everyday life. So it's a huge stepping stone. And they even do mention within this, right, that they want to ensure that the US leadership in financial and technological innovation is not harmed. For example, today's introduction of the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act marks a significant milestone in the House Committees on Agriculture and Financial Services efforts to establish a much-needed regulatory framework that protects consumers and investors and fosters American leadership in the digital asset space. Over the past several months, our team solicited extensive feedback from stakeholder and market participants and worked diligently to produce a legislative product that aims to close existing authority gaps, ensuring U.S. leadership in financial and technological innovation. I thank Chairman McHenry for his leadership and that of our subcommittee chairs in moving this legislation to the stage. And, I think that this is something to know, right? This is big because as we really kind of look at this, they know how big of an opportunity this is. They even mention it at the bottom here, right? Let me zoom in real quick so that you guys can see it. We do see this is a pivotal moment for America's standing as the global leader in innovation and technology adoption. Not only can digital assets revolutionize our financial system, but their underlying blockchain technology holds promise as the building blocks for the next generation of the internet. As other counties move towards or forward with digital asset regulatory frameworks. I don't know if he meant counties or countries, probably countries. It's probably a typo there. And Chair Gensler continues his regulation by enforcement. The U.S. is falling behind. Innovators need regulatory clarity and certainty to enable this technology to achieve its full potential. That's why Republicans introduced the Fit for the 21st Century Act to finally provide clear rules of the road so that the digital asset ecosystem can thrive in the U.S. And one thing that I do want to mention about this is it's awesome to see XRP get cleared, right? Because I did say for the longest time that, listen, if it was never going to be the SEC that brings regulatory clarity for this space. It was never the SEC. The reason why we have Congress moving forward is because Congress is the ones that will bring clarity for crypto and digital assets. So having Ripple and XRP cleared initially is incredible, and it only helps even more around regulations within crypto because now we have something to go off of. We have some substance to utilize as an example. Ripple with XRP is a perfect example of how this space works and how it can thrive if, and I say if, proper regulations are in place. So I do think that everything leading up to this point has been a monumental moment for crypto. I think that this industry, listen, this industry is on a path to incredible adoption, for incredible amounts of value to be unlocked and also value to flow in. The future is very bright. And I think everything that has happened recently around regulations and even the FedNow service, let it be known, I know, right? Like I know that everyone was expecting the FedNow service to be a price driver. I always said it, right? Like since day one with the FedNow service, it's not so much about price action. It's more so about what this unlocks in terms of opportunity around new payment technology and the next generation of payment technology as well. So with that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.